If you're new to Marvel Rivals and want to rank up fast with Psylocke in Season 5, this beginner guide is going to make your game so much easier. She's honestly one of the most forgiving and fun DPS heroes you can pick up right now. Let's talk about why Psylocke is one of the best beginner DPS characters this season. Psylocke has something a lot of DPS heroes don't have, which is survivability. With her dashes and invisibility, you can get out of dangerous situations, she can reposition instantly, escape almost all attacks, and control her own safety, better than most DPS in the game. And unlike other dive heroes like Black Panther or Magic, Psylocke actually has a solid ranged primary fire, rendering anti-dive characters like Namor and Penny a lot less effective against her. Combine her primary weapon with her shurikens and you get a huge burst of damage before you even commit to a fight. And of course, her most broken ability of all, Dance of the Butterfly. This ultimate is a complete game changer and easily one of the strongest DPS ultimates in Marvel Rivals. If you time it right, you will wipe out the entire team with no effort. That's why she's always banned in higher ranks. In Season 5, there are a lot of things to keep in mind while playing Psylocke. Starting with number 1, support heroes have been buffed, meaning they all have increased health as well as healing abilities. Not to mention the broken new strategist Gambit, who deals serious damage. Number 2 is, you are not only a flanking character. Think of Psylocke more as a versatile assassin, able to do damage with her team, then look for opportunities to burst the enemy backline. Thirdly, Psylocke's strongest ability is her ultimate. Farming ult charge off of DPS as well as tanks is how you're gonna get your ultimate the fastest. And that ultimate is what lets you completely wipe out an enemy team. And lastly, combos, which I'll teach you later in the video, have a really small timing window. So when you do go for a flank, commit with confidence and make sure the fight is in your favor. Every game I play with Psy, I always make sure to start off with a flank. To start off the first fight with more pressure on the backline, as well as distracting the enemy team. If you're a beginner, keep in mind, whether you secure the kill or not, you're giving the rest of your ally team more control over the space. Before you dive or flank the enemy team, you must always make sure that there's health packs nearby, as well as your abilities, such as your dash or invisibility. It is crucial you have an exit plan on this character, because if you die on the first flank, not only did your team lose a person, but you and your team will most likely lose the fight. After you dive the enemy team, always make sure to go back with your team to reset your health and abilities. Dealing damage on the enemy team restores your ability the fastest, giving you faster time to get your mobility and damage back. You also want to put out a lot of your damage and combos onto the enemy tanks during this time. This gives you the highest amount of ultimate charge. And the ultimate ability is how you'll create the easiest team wipes and win. Another thing to keep in mind is Psylocke does not have the most health, so positioning is very important. So make sure when you're in an intense fight with your team to not stay too close to the front lines, as she can take some serious damage. Psylocke's perfect flanking opportunities come during the middle of a team fight. You want to disrupt the enemy backlines and give your allies more of an edge and pressure over the enemy team. One of the common mistakes I see beginner Psylockes make is flanking the enemy team when their team is dead. Since your team isn't there anymore, there's no more frontline pressure, rendering your flank an easy target the whole team will probably kill. Your best decision during a team wipe is to use your mobility to reset your team. Again, since this is a beginner's guide, don't be upset if you don't successfully get the flank kill. The most important part for beginner is to master her combos and exit strategy. You get in and get out. You're still helping your team with distracting the enemy's healers and putting on pressure. There are a few great combos you should learn for Psylocke. First things first is understanding her primary weapon and secondary shurikens. Her primary fire ammo does not have much damage in far range. Her weapons excel at medium to closer range combat. Also important to know, Psylocke's shurikens also have the ability of being returned when you use your dash, as well as providing you with extra health. Starting off, I'm going to teach you guys some of Psylocke's best combos for heroes with 275 health. The first essential combo is primary shot, shoot the shurikens, retrieve the shurikens, then shoot out 2 primary shots. Another variation is shoot 2 primary shots, then shurikens, retrieve them, then only 1 primary shot. This will kill any 275 HP support or DPS. The third combo is a little bit more fun, which is primary shot, shoot your shurikens, retrieve the shurikens, shoot 1 more primary shot, then dash through the enemy. The fourth combo is primary shot, shurikens, dash, then finishing off with one more primary shot. For a fifth combo, you can start off with a dash, shoot your primary, then your shurikens, then one more primary shot. The last combo I'll go over is primary fire, shoot shuriken, dash, then dash again for the kill. This isn't highly recommended for beginners due to the high ability usage, but in tight situations against a character, it adds more disorientation. You can also add melee weaving throughout these combos for a faster time to kill, but keep a little bit of distance for safety if they have anti-dive. There are honestly so many combos you can use on Psylocke. And lastly, for low HP characters with 250 health, you can use the same combos I've shown you, and you get to use one less primary shot, giving a faster time to kill. This is really effective against Rocket Raccoon and Jeff the Landshark. Understanding your priority target is essential for every team fight. Understanding their weaknesses, as well as ability cooldowns, will make a world of difference if you want to master Psylocke. But since this is a beginner's guide, let me give a couple examples on how to flank the safest way as a beginner Psylocke for different situations. The most popular way to dive is using Psylocke's invisibility to sneak behind the weakest support, meaning the support with the lowest health or the support farthest from their team. This is important to know because the support farthest from the team is less likely to be healed or protected, and thus easier to be taken out. Let me give you guys a couple specific examples to help you better dive with Psylocke. For this first situation, the enemy team will be using a Rocket and a Luna Snow. We know that Rocket doesn't need to aim to heal his team and has less overall health. And we also know that Luna Snow needs precision to heal and has an ISAR ability, also known as Clap, for extreme aimbot healing. The way a beginner can safely dive this support composition is by baiting out Luna's Clap ability and then leaving right after for a few seconds. Now that her best healing ability is gone, you can go back to the enemy supports and take out the Rocket. The reason why beginner Psylocke should take out the Rocket first is because he has lower health and won't have the best healing from Luna due to her best ability being gone. Once you kill the Rocket, Luna is a free elimination due to having no one else to heal her, including her ISARs or Clap ability. Another situation you may run across is when supports begin to patty cake, also known as healing each other with maximum abilities. In this example, I'll use another popular support lineup of Invisible Woman and Cloak and Dagger. If you start to damage Cloak and Dagger while you're diving, and she puts her healing bubble down, and Invisible Woman puts her shield to protect the Cloak and Dagger, your combos will not be enough to secure a kill. In this moment of time, you should stop shooting the supports and focus on Invisible Woman's shield, and leave immediately and wait a few seconds till Cloak and Dagger's bubble's gone and the supports are continuing to focus on their team. This makes it so that their healing abilities are out of the way so that it'll be easier to come back and finish the kill. These are pretty detailed examples, but if you're a new player, you probably won't deal with much patty caking in the start of the game. Just remember to always play your life and look out for the support's best abilities as well as their cooldowns. There are so many ways to dive on Psylocke. Of course, if you're experienced with her or you learn to master her, you'll be able to pick whichever support you want to kill, as well as having more confidence and strength in your abilities. But since it's a beginner's guide, make sure you play things safe and smart. The first common mistake I see often, and what I struggled with when I started the game in Season 0, was what I mentioned earlier, of flanking with a dead team. I would flank on the enemy team when my team was dead, not understanding that I'm essentially in a 1v6 and will most likely die, and did. It's better to stay alive and reset with your team so you can flank when you have your team alive. Another beginner mistake I see frequently is poor cooldown management. You should never dive the enemy team without your movement abilities. If you see that you're missing a dash as well as invisibility, cycle back to your team to deal damage off the enemy team. This will provide you with a faster cooldown, letting you be able to flank more often. The third big mistake is ult timing. Always keep tabs of the enemy support ults. Your ultimate is one of the strongest abilities in the entire game. You want to make sure that the enemy team cannot counter you. Another mistake I see with Psylocke ults is popping the ultimate in front of the entire team. Right when you press your ultimate on Psylocke, there is a small window where you are able to be killed, stunned, or pushed away. Make sure when you want to pop your ultimate to use your invisibility or dash from an off angle. Always give the element of surprise. The last big mistake I see new Psylocke players do is either have too much confidence or too little. You have strong survivability and damage, but you aren't invincible. And I can also say you have strong survivability and damage. But don't be too scared to flank. Remember, your team needs you alive, and you benefit your team by disturbing the enemy backline. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helps you feel more confident with Psylocke. Have fun out there and good luck in your matches.